Welcome to All the Feels Conversations. This podcast is a safe haven for emotions and feelings to be seen and shared. Here, we want to embrace all the feels, bringing us closer to ourselves and each other. This season, I'm having intimate, anonymous conversations with 100 men about their feelings. Why? Because society often tells men not to feel or express themselves, and this deeply affects our physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Okay, and your current relationship status?
Complicated.
So we're in love. Do you want to start with love?
You know, as a person that kind of identifies as neurodivergent, when people say, "I'll start with this thing," I'm like, yeah, but you ain't really asked me a question. So then I have to go to, what would someone else say if they were just given an open platform? So the first thing that comes up for me is love in terms of like,
I was going to ask you a question. I was just wondering whether you wanted to start with that one out of the three that you had.
no, I'm good. I think love is a perfect place to start with.
Okay, so the question is, what does it feel like to be in romantic love to you?
What does it feel like? You know, when you've been with someone for a long time and you've cohabited with them, so you've stayed in the same bed and you get used to sleeping next to that person. And then they go on a trip, but that trip is like 7 to 10 days. Day one and day two, you're kind of like, you spread across the bread, it's like it's all blessed. But day 3 or 4, you start feeling like you don't have that comfort. That person that your foot just touches them at night, or you're being the little spoon. I love little spoon. It's that thing that you don't know you miss and that you appreciate, but it just reinforces just your being. It's like that, but all the time, feeling that support.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what I've had, but it's all good.
I could say, oh, it feels like warmth and it feels like your favorite food, but no.
Mate, that was deep. Okay. And where does that love that you're talking about, and probably know what you're going to say, where does that live in your body?
My chest. All of my feelings live in my chest, 100%.
How do you like to show love and be shown love?
Great question. If we're using like the scale of love languages, because I feel like a lot of people can relate to that, what I've learned is words of affirmation are so low, it's unreal. I'm like, I know I'm amazing. You don't need to tell me that. Like, it's all good. But what I've had to learn being a partner is if my partner's love language is completely different to mine, I now need to reprioritize how I think about that, because I have to make myself go out the way and be like, you look really great. Like, I hope you feel them, and pour into their cup in that way, despite for me, it's so not important. But how I like to be loved is acts of service. Make me a picture that you drew. Make me a bowl of spaghetti bolognese. Then I'll feel like that is so amazing. Or I saw this keychain and I thought of you. I will keep that keychain for the rest of my life. More than a Rolex or more than whatever, because it's like in that moment you thought of me. So that's how I like to receive love.
And how do you like to show it to others?
No, same way. Let me give you a foot massage, or I know you've been really tired, so I made a reservation at this restaurant with your brethren, and I'm gonna look after the kids. You go do your thing.
Do you feel like, have you ever felt unconditional love in a romantic relationship?
I should say my ex. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I think your next topic was relationship with self and others.
Okay, yeah.
What would you say your relationship with yourself is like?
It's not good.
Right now, or generally?
Well, now I'm in therapy. So now, and I'm separate to therapy. I think whilst there's a lot of access issues to therapy, whether it be time, financial resources, technological resources, a lot of therapy is done online. I think just consciously, I don't like the term shadow work, just like consciously thinking about, where am I right now? Am I happy? Do I feel productive? Is my constant need to feel productive, as my therapist would say, a problem? Can I just be still? Doing that work and asking those questions, like intentionally, I think is really helpful. So that's what I do a lot of.
Who would you say taught you how to be a man in this world?
Rotted. Who taught me how to? Who taught me how to be? Okay, I have to answer this way.
Mm-hmm.
I think a big problem with humans is we have different barometers for one definition. And so to say, to be a man, we now need to agree, what is a man? What does that look like? Who can and can't be a man? And at what point is the manly thing to do? And so I would say who taught me to be a man is every person that I've ever met in how they made a judgment, because that's just how to be a good person. I just happen to be born with a penis, so I'm a man. I always thought my mom, a woman, can never teach a boy how to be a man, but that's crazy, because being a man isn't about how I wear my hair, the length, the perfume, whether I paint my nails, like whatever the case may be. It was just be a good person, and I was born a male, therefore I'm a man. That's just kind of how I look at it. Or even if you're not born a man, if it's just you're a man, you're doing this thing, that's just so happened. When you cook, is it like this black cook did this thing? You're just a cook. You're just a chef. You're just making food. I look at it as I'm just a person. I'm just living this human existence.
You're saying like other men or other people in your existence kind of showed you how to do it.
100%, 100%. The people that made the good judgments, the men that made the good judgments, and the men that made the bad judgments didn't show me what it was to be a good or bad man. They just showed me what it was to be an authentic person or a person of integrity or not. That's just how I see it, really.
I hear you. I hear you. So on the flip side, then, what does femininity mean to you?
For me, this is all within the constructs of the capitalist Western system, but femininity to me means, in some ways, a bit spiritual, in terms of just like water and flow and just kind of going with what makes you feel good at the time. Whether that be an expression through color or art or how I speak, how I carry myself. I just kind of feel like I personally can't associate femininity to a certain gender. I don't want to say it's being a woman and it's being a queen, and if that's what it is for you, cool. But for me, it's just being okay in my body, really.
How do you show care to yourself, bro?
How do I show care to myself? I don't do it enough, but every now and again, a manicure, pedicure.
Come on.
Yeah, got to look after the body, or a massage. Again, don't do it enough. And sometimes just like indulging, whether that be just sitting on the bed watching TV, whether that be I went for a walk in the park the other day for no reason, just to experience stuff that wasn't on my phone. Little things like that.
How are you with your communication to others? Honestly, authentically, truthfully.
For me, communication begins with listening. So like get what this person is requesting, what they need, what they're asking, whatever the case may be. And then actively listening, actually being present instead of waiting to respond. Like get that person's world first. Like when someone says, "How are you?" and I'm like, and then I'll sit there for like 4 or 5 seconds, and it's fascinating to hear the people that go, "Did you hear what I said?" or "Are you going to answer?" And I'm like, I need to think about it. You asked me how I am. And so I communicate like that. at every given second it's going to change, right? So how my ex would say I am at communicating compared to how my colleagues would say is different. Because I think with communication, you teach people how to communicate with you. And so on any given day, I'm great. With a stranger, amazing, because I'm used to masking, I'm used to adapting. With someone that I've known for a long time, probably not so great.
Okay. Is this masking? What does that mean to you? What is masking?
Masking is a term that is used, you could say, in the autistic community. I'm not diagnosed as autistic, but I'm very neurodivergent. So
Okay.
brain doesn't necessarily work the same way to like a lot of the population. But like that's a whole different debate. So when you're autistic or somewhere on that spectrum, you learn how to engage with people based on the normal spectrum of engagement.
I see.
So it would be, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm good. You cool? Yeah, I'm blessed, you know. Now let's start talking about what the thing is. Whereas in my brain, I'm going to call you and I'm going to say, yo, call me. Can we do? I'm going to skip that social engagement bit.
Right.
Because in my mind, no disrespect, but I don't actually care how you are and you don't care how I am. We're communicating for a purpose. So get to the purpose. Whereas masking teaches you to do that whole, hey, how are you? I'm cool. But you learn to say, I'm cool. You don't learn to say, I'm really sad because my mum is sick and I'm depressed and because then people are like, what? It's such a British thing, like, to just do the whole, yeah, I'm good, I'm thanks, yeah, I'm fine, all right, cool. Now let's engage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes
Okay.
other times not so much.
So we're now on mental health. How is your mental health right now?
So my I've got a group chat, Fantastic Four, with my siblings, my sister and my two brothers. And we do on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I need intervention and 10 being I'm amazing. We ask like, how's your well-being? How's your mental health? How's your social anxiety? Whatever the case may be, so that we can kind of gauge. It doesn't give you pressure. You can just be like, today I'm at a whatever. So to answer your question, how's my mental health? Today is at a 6. So it's like average. It's good. It's good.
Okay. When was the last time you felt, or how often do you feel shame?
Raw. How often do I feel shame?
Or when was the last time you felt?
When I'm honest with myself. When was the last time I felt shame? No, when I'm honest about ways that I shouldn't have been. And again, in doing therapy and in thinking just about life, I would say once a week.
Okay.
Yeah, once a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And rejection? How often do you feel rejection? Oh God, what am I doing? Oh God.
Here's the thing, right? So immediately you said rejection, and then my brain immediately went to rejection isn't just like seeking a partner or a mate or intercourse or whatever the case may be. Rejection could be like anything, whether it be a job or a friendship or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I'm a good-looking guy, so I don't experience rejection that much. However, like emotional rejection is different. So if I want to take someone out and I'm kind of skirting around it and I kind of want them to say something, but I'm not putting myself out there, or I say something and they're like, oh, you know, just hang out like friends,
Sorry. Oh God, I'm not a therapist. I'm gonna just do myself.
Listen, it's cool. Safe space. Don't worry. Then my pride is then hurt, right? And so I feel rejection. But I think because I try and communicate a lot with people to get things complete, I don't feel rejection that much. Yeah.
When you say complete, what do you mean?
So complete, there's a few courses that I've done in life, and I'm not name dropping them, but the distinction of complete is, this isn't like from the handbook, but it's being with something the way that it is and that it is not, and there is nothing else. A short example is, I didn't grow up with my dad. He's still alive, got a bag of pitney.